So the first thing to figure out which one is the accessories, is the original fuse versus the add-on add a fuse position. I put it in this position to try it out first. Okay, so this is for the internal outlet, not the accessory adding. So that's the 15 amp one. So let's see if this turns on my outlets or not. And if it doesn't, I'll have to flip it around to the other position. Okay, so let's turn on the engine or the accessories power, and you can see I have power on my outlet. So this is the correct direction, but I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to put that 15. That's the original fuse in the other position, just to confirm, to make sure my test is correct. Now it's placed in the wrong position. Let's plug it back in and see what happens. Okay, now it's in the wrong position. Let's turn on. It's on accessories, and but there's no power on the outlets. That's good. Now we know this is the correct direction, whereas the top is the add a fuse and the bottom one is the original fuse. Now that we know which fuse goes in which slot, here's a drawing of what the circuit looks like and what happens when it's in the right direction, the wrong direction when it's plugged in. If you notice on the fuse box, there's going to be one side is going to be the 12 volt, the hot side, okay, and the other side goes to the actual circuit that it's protecting. Now, in the case of the original, the outlet is your original, okay, and so it goes to the 15 amp fuse, okay, and then the add a fuse adds the 7.5 amp one I put in there, and that's the red wire that goes out to the switches, that goes out to the accessory that we're adding, and then it goes down to ground. All right, so the way to test it, if you have it in the wrong direction, now you'll have your original circuit will still work, because it goes to the 15 amp out to the outlet. But now what happens is that it'll go through both of them in series to actually get to the accessories outside, being in this case the grill lights. So what we're going to do is to test this to see which way is the right way. All you do is pull out the 15 amp, basically the original fuse. So if it's the correct direction, okay, if the 15 amp is out, doesn't really matter, it'll still work for the accessory. Now if you flip the other direction though, it won't work because that 15 amps going to be missing, and it's in series, so you'll never get power on that accessory. So that's how you could tell if it's in the wrong direction, now that we know which order those two different fuses are. So let's try this out. Okay, now the 15 amp, the original fuse, is removed. We'll plug it in one direction, any given direction, and test if that's the right direction. Okay, we start off in this direction to see if this is the correct way. All right, let's turn on, double click, then you can see there's no power there. And there's no power to the lights, so that means that's in the wrong direction. All right, so now we flipped it to the other direction, which we think is the correct direction. We'll test it. All right, let's try it again. As you can see, there's no lights, there's no power in the outlet, but we have power to the accessory, so that's great. So that's in the correct direction. So now we know the correct direction. This is how it should be aligned, that the original fuse is in the bottom, the added fuse on the top, if you're looking at that direction, where the 12 volt, the source is on the outside, and that lines up with 12 volt supply is the power supply. The hot side of the fuses is on the outside, at least on the left-hand side of the fuse block. I'm not sure about the right side. So don't forget to put the fuse back in after finish testing, so you have both fuses back in the add a fuse, and then reinsert